Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Izzy Cinema Escape on YouTube. I'm your host Izzy. Now before we get started on this review, if you're new to the channel and you just happen to happen upon my review channel, feel free to hit the subscribe link below and provide a comment and like it on my videos if you want to. And if you're not new to the channel, please feel free to continue spreading the word, and thank you for the positive remarks. Today's review is going to be based off a very controversial one, if I say so myself. It came out in 2016 and is based off it's based off a very popular action figures animated series and even two films that came prior. The 2016 Ghostbusters, starring Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, and Chris Hemsworth. Now, I have made my views known on the Ghostbusters mythology, especially the recent 2016 film. I grew up on Ghostbusters. It was a very huge part of my childhood, just like everybody, just like a lot of other people's. Now, I am a huge fan. Again, I watched the Filmation Ghostbusters and grew up with that. Still love it to this very day. Obviously, the animated series of the Ghostbusters and the first two films, which are a huge monumental part of my childhood, and you can't go wrong with either of them. But when it comes to this film, I can remember the initial backlash that was hurled towards it from various critics, fans, and when it came to it, I do believe that there was just a lot of unnecessary hate that was hurled towards it. Now, granted, is everyone allowed to be entitled to their opinion? Absolutely. I am in no position as a critic to try to tell people what to like or what not to like. I can only give my opinion, and if you happen to like it, if you happen to like what you saw, then that is wonderful for you. If you don't like it, then that's fine. I'm not in a position to try to make it seem like that my words regarding a film, TV series, or a video game or a book is the absolute gospel. At the end of the day, it is all up to the viewer, and it's up to them to formulate their own appropriate conclusion when it comes to their particular taste. But when it comes to 2016 Ghostbusters, I didn't necessarily have any huge reservations towards it, just because I don't mind. I knew that nothing was ever going to top what the original two films brought. It's just, you're never going to replace Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, and Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Zool, Vigu. You're never going to be able to replicate the magic that the first two Ghostbusters brought. It's the same way that you had a lot of fans who had these unrealistic high expectations for Terminator sequels. Nothing's ever going to replace what the first two Terminators did. It's just nothing is not going to happen. So the sooner people, I feel, realize that magic, certain type of magics only happen once or twice, and in some cases the third is very rare. But the sooner people realize that there's a reason why it's called magic, there's a reason why that the first two Ghostbuster films have a certain amount of charm and excitement, and same with Gremlins. Just those films were a product of their time, and to try to replicate anything other than that is just never going to happen again. So, 2016 Ghostbusters, I did enjoy the film. I enjoyed it for what it was. I was able to, as a critic, I was able to sit there in the movie theater and just say, you know what, Isaiah, separate the original films and this one from your mind, and watch it for its own merits. And see, the thing with me personally, I love Kate McKinnon, Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and Kristen Wiig, and even Chris Hemsworth. I find them to be remarkably talented, actors and actresses. I love the fact that this was more of a comedic approach to the Ghostbuster mythology, and that it was taking place, even though that there are some interesting Easter egg references to prior films, animated series. I love the fact that it's taking place more in an alternate universe where you could simply view it as a Ghostbusters of the Elseworlds concept. But when it comes to overall Ghostbusters film, I enjoyed it. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was fun. I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was different and unique. And it did bring about some interesting feelings of nostalgia for me personally. And that's what, to me, maybe that's what the initial purpose was. To simply introduce Ghostbusters to a new audience who didn't necessarily grow up during the Ghostbusters phenomenon in the 80s, even early 90s. Having said that, I've always been the type of person who felt that there's nothing wrong with nostalgia. Even though the newest Ghostbusters Afterlife doesn't come out until I think next year, even in 2022, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I just think that it's very important to have a realistic form of scenarios in order to accept a certain film on its merits rather than going expecting something completely unrealistic. I do believe, without a shadow of a doubt, and again, just my opinion, I think if you had the original cast with the same dialogue, the same script, and the same cinematic conceptual base, this film would have been much better received compared to how it was at the time of its release. I do believe that negativity tends to has a tendency to spread a lot easier and more better compared to something that's positive. Ghostbusters 2016, I thought the highlight for me personally was Chris Hemsworth. I really did enjoy. I was surprised at just how funny he is. I mean, he has a rare comedic talent that just makes him that much more charming. You know, because I mean, we're so used to seeing him as Thor, anyways. So to see him in a different type of setting, when I first saw him in Vacation, I thought he was hilarious. And in this film, he's that much more hilarious. It's just his way of awkward humor, his comedic timing is just brilliant. And of course, when you couple that with Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, Melissa McCarthy, and Kate McKinnon, you have just a wonderful sense of comedic energy that I feel made it a lot more entertaining than a lot of people realize, from my perspective. I thought the special effects with the ghost and the different type of spirits were quite phenomenal. And again, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to say that everything that I'm saying is the gospel. All I'm giving is just my opinion here. I loved hearing the original Ghostbusters theme in the film. I loved the fact that they were so inexperienced at how they were handling these paranormal phenomena that their interactions with these paranormal activities was just that much more interesting and amusing. It's fun. It's a great, entertaining film, and I do recommend it. Now, as far as the final review is concerned, review score is concerned, what type of score would I give it? I would give it a 3 out of 5. You know, I don't think it's anything lower than that. Just because I feel anything lower than that is absolutely harsh. It's too harsh. Because I still believe the worst film I've ever watched in my life, personally, is Napoleon Dynamite. But then there are a lot of people who love that as well. So again, it's all about the initial taste of what it is that you enjoy. And if you like it, that's wonderful. If you don't, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with anyone having a different outlook as far as the cinematic adaptations and taste is concerned. But Ghostbusters 2016, I give it a 3 out of 5. Entertaining, fun, great for the family. I don't think there's anything that kids can't handle. It's all about, I still believe, introducing the Ghostbuster mythology to a new audience who had no familiarity with it whatsoever prior to this film. Other than that, I do recommend it. Please let me know in the comment section what you thought about it. Provide a like if you want to, and continue to spread the word, and hit the subscribe button and spread the word about my channel. You'll be hearing from me again soon. I hope you guys remain safe and healthy, and take care. Peace out.